So these are ideas. Once again, I would not do all of these. I have a blog post that has more ideas in here, but before watching a song, these are just ideas of things you could do. I'm not going to read this to you, but there's so many things you can do with just thinking about the lyrics as poetry. You know, you are reading and analyzing them. So students might draw what they think is going to happen by looking at these lyrics, or maybe you're introducing the vocabulary. Maybe you're just listening to the audio if students come in, or just watching the video. These are all just ideas. Don't need to do all of them. And this is, you know, so maybe pick one thing that you're going to do. Same with while watching. Personally, my favorite thing for students to do while they're watching video is just sit back and enjoy the last thing. But I know, especially if you're using the same song and you're going to use it over time and you want to build and you're doing more with it. For example, I've done some of these things while using Señor Wooly, which are not authentic videos, but videos created to help with language acquisition of Spanish. But these are ideas of things you could do. But once again, don't kill the joy of the song. If you do too many activities with one song, everybody kind of might be over it. Notice I didn't actually even include close on here. I know that's like the typical, that's just filling in the blanks. I feel like that's kind of been done a lot. I mean, that was what I did at the beginning. That was all I did. Listen, fill in the blank, but that's hard. It's not super equitable. For example, having chunks of lyrics that are written out and students can put in order could be differentiated a lot better than filling in the blank. That's, you know, that is really hard for someone like me who's a visual learner and you're learning a new language. So just be careful that you're not killing the joy of the song by doing activities that are too hard with it. Other idea. Okay, so these are while watching, but with movement. So I discussed a little bit of movement before, but especially if you have elementary, middle school students, squirrely freshmen. So having authentic song, but teaching gestures for certain lyrics. And so every time they hear the song, about how the sun comes up, and then they do a motion. I know this seems very elementary, but I mean, I have had high school students doing Los Pollitos Dicen and doing other songs with movement. So once again, it all depends on the students, how comfortable they feel with each other, how much they enjoy getting out of their seat and having a chance to move around. If you or one of your students know sign language, that could be another way to learn sign language that goes with the song, even just certain moves that go with just the chorus, maybe. That would be a way to add a little movement with a song. I talked about this a little bit before of like jump, raise your hand, spin every time you hear a certain word, or when you get to the chorus, learning traditional dances that go with the country that you are studying. Especially, this is a really great thing if you can bring in guests, whether via Zoom or in person, of someone's parents or someone from the community who can come in and teach something to your students. That could be really powerful as well. Or other things of just to the rhythm of a song, especially for younger kids, clap games, jump rope. So this could be a great way. You go outside and you're listening to authentic music and they're doing jump rope to the rhythm of the song, maybe singing along. But these are things you could do while listening, but including movement. Also, once again, after watching, just a few ideas of things you could do depending on the age. You can have like your American Idol judges, ones who are set, your extra opinionated students who want the chance to get to critique the song. And this could be done in the target language as well. Different people could give their opinions. It could be writing a review, new verse. You can rank the videos that you've watched over time, of starting like a big chart in the room of which are the best songs you've listened to. Just chat partners, just chatting about the song, how they feel about it, what did they see, and it can be about the lyrics or it can be about the video. So remember, there's like two big things you can do with songs. You know, you can focus on what you're seeing in the video, or you can focus on like the story of the lyrics of the video. And so maybe there's two completely different things there. You know, we all know sometimes the videos have nothing to do with the lyrics. And either way, another extension is lyricstraining.com. You can change it to many languages, and then it is one of those close fill in the blank, but that's really great for an extension, for we did it during virtual days, for hybrid, a really great way to extend the learning without you having to create anything. Also, after watching ideas of specifically culture-wise, now you want to connect with your culture standards. So either that you are providing specific things for students to research, or maybe they're investigating about their own on the artist, and especially with some of these, providing links of sites that you know are appropriate would be best, especially with younger kids. Especially if you're doing this in the target language. So you're finding maybe shorter, more comprehensible readings, things like this about the artist, the genre of music, the country, the places, things that are in the video, the instruments used, especially if you're showing different folk songs or things that are traditional to the indigenous culture of that region, learning about those. And this is where you can really do cross-curricular of, the history and the geography and all of the different things that make up the humanities. And that's what's great about teaching a language, is because you can teach whatever you and the students are interested in, but in the target language. So sometimes it might be more, you're getting into science and the literature and the analyzing the rhyme and the poetry of the lyrics. So many different ways, connections you can make, especially if you are teaching a heritage class where you can really dig deeper with the language. So in your culture too, if you have the products that what do they see in the video? These foods that they see in there, the practices that they see, and then the perspectives, but making sure that you are allowing students to investigate and to not project on them what you think, but especially allowing them to explore and learn about authentic culture. Also, then with that, of analyzing who is represented in the song and how. Is it a positive representation? Not every song is great. What are you seeing? Who is missing from this picture? Are there patterns you're seeing of certain songs by certain artists or from certain countries? Just things based on different genres, just all these different things, especially with upper level students, that you can really dig deeper. But even with novice students, it can be learning basic facts about a person. So you can, using your adjectives and things of this person is from this place. They are this many years old. They have this many children. They like this. They go here often. So using your very basic phrases, is, has, wants, likes, you can discuss is from, or nationality, even with your very basic early novice students. So more ways to mix it up. I know I have kind of the music brackets. I did not come up with this idea. I know there are many, I know Spanish Plans has been doing a bracket for a long time. I know I originally got the first bracket I used from Bethany Drew. And so this is something that I have kind of latched onto, and it has become a tradition in my classes for many years. One of them, though, being that I know a lot of people do a spring music bracket. There aren't as many who do a fall music bracket. I specifically do this bracket during Hispanic Heritage Month, but it could be done any time of the year, with the goal for me as early in the year is exposing students to the variety of places that speak Spanish. And so you could absolutely do this with the language you teach, and showing all of the different countries that speak French, and representing music from the different regions, from the different nationalities of people who speak that language. And how I do this bracket is that we listen to 2 songs per day. We vote who moves on, and we might vote just tally on the board. We might vote, like last year, it was a Google form. And so that way, whether students were in person or not, they voted on the Google form. I just embedded 2 videos in the Google form, and they voted which one they wanted. And I also included just an open-ended question where they can answer in Spanish, like why they like the certain song. So depending on the level of class, you could have something different than that. I know some people do a lot of different things. So first round, maybe they just listen to the audio. Second round, they use the video. Third round, they maybe do one of those activities that I mentioned before, during, or after. Or some people, they just listen. Or the students might listen to these songs outside of class and come in and have already voted. And so that could for sure be something, especially after you've already listened to the songs as a group. I've learned students really like They do like listening to the songs together, and then you can let them vote on your own. But after you've already listened to them, if it's the next round, you could just say, okay, now go vote. Up to you. I have a blog post on how I use this one song from each country bracket. And also I have ready-made resources that you can go ahead and just implement with slideshows that already have the everything already in there, the embedded video, country, nationality, the genre as well this year. And this is what it could look like in class. I've also made a digital bracket, so you can just do it digitally as well as the spring music bracket that I know a lot of people do a lot of different ones. What's easier about this is that it's like a nice 16 song because I pick it, whereas if you notice the other bracket's a little wonky because there's not an even number of countries to make a nice clean bracket, so some people get a bye. Once again, listen to 2 songs per day, vote who moves on. I know there are lots of resources in different languages of other brackets that you could use, or you can create your own. Once again, I have a blog post of how I use this, as well as resources of ready-made brackets, including one year, for example, because I did it in March, I did a whole bracket of songs that were for women's history. So it was all female bracket. I found that, at least in Spanish, there's a lot of male singers, and that's what a lot of people are choosing to focus on. And so I've really made a conscious effort recently to try and diversify the music that I'm showing. So a variety of countries, people, ethnicity, sexual orientation. So just really showing a diverse representation of the people who speak that language, to really, once again, have students be able to have windows and mirrors in the classroom of being able to see things that see something different, but also being able to see themselves represented in class. So with the brackets, I will say that we just do it as like a quick thing, but some people you could expand and do it as a whole unit. We would do it as a class starter, and then we still just go on with the rest of our day. Whereas some other people do a full unit using music where you're going deep with a song. I know people who have spent, 1 or 2 weeks on just one song because they are doing, when I'd said before, do one activity for each. If you were going deeper, maybe you're doing multiple pre-activities, then you're introducing the song and doing during activities, and then after. I would just be careful with that of making sure you have a really good song, really good video that you can go deeper with it. Depending on if you're going in depth on the story of the lyrics, there are some songs that, really do allow you to go deeper with it, or maybe with the story of the video. It's a really great video that positively represents something, maybe a certain celebration. You can do so many things with doing clip chats of discussing the video before, just screenshots of it and describing it in comprehensible language and making predictions and doing so many things with it. Plus, once again, you can do all of the things of investigating with artists, geography, all of your culture, history, all of the things. But this can be, a whole unit, depending on, this would be if you have way more freedom. You get to do what you want and you really like it. I would also recommend, I know there's a lot of teachers who've already created nice units that go with this. I've never even created one like this because, that is a great job for those who do, but that's not been something that's been my specialty. Thank you again. And I just really appreciate you spending your time with me. So I hope you found something worthy to use in your class.